Hello guys, welcome back to another video. Right now we have a lot to cover since the entire crypto market is dumping. We can see stock market has started to dump as well, and the dollar is taking off. So usually when the dollar takes off, everything else likes to go down, basically, more or less. So as long as the dollar is going to continue to trend higher, this is not going to be good news for Bitcoin, at least short term. So let's jump into the charts here. So we're still under the modified shift here, as we've been talking. We're still expecting this modified shift to get hit, but as I said, it's not very normal. We're going to go straight to it. There's a lot of room for chop around, but overall this is our target at around 68,000-69,000 depending when we reach it. So let's zoom in here on the 4 hours. On the 4 hour time frame, this was one pitchfork we're using here. We've been discussing in the some of our older videos. If we go to the original, which we later spoke about, I think yesterday we mentioned last time, we're not going to go to this median line since this one is going to act as strong resistance in the way. So I don't see this median. We did discuss about it around here that most likely we're going to go here, but then we changed our mind and said most likely this median is not going to get hit since we have the bigger time frame pitchfork in the way. And we can see how we have basically ever since then trended away from this median line. Right now what I'm looking at as is the shift one and the modified shift here. The pitchfork, we can see we have first it acted as resistance, and right now it's acting as support. So very interesting area here, but I will still be careful here starting to just open blindly along, even though we're bullish overall. So the latest chart I did tell you guys yesterday is to look from the second low here. So we have this as some kind of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave perhaps. So we're looking from the second wave here to the potential third wave we were discussing, and we can see once again how the 0.31 Fibonacci acted as perfect support here. As I'm guys trying to tell you over and over again, the 0.31 is one of the most powerful Fibonacci tools. I don't like Fibonacci tools in general. Most traders have a ton of Fibonacci tools on their chart, and then one of them is going to act as support at some point. They're going to say, look, this fib act as support, but there's no way to actually trade all of the fibs if you're just going to open longs on them. So most of you're just going to get wrecked on the way down. So in my opinion, I only use the 0.31 and the minus 0.236. You can see we got a nice bounce. I did open a nice scalp here, but then unfortunately they got stopped out when we now had the dump to the downside. We can also see, if we zoom in here on the 2 hour, we can see what caused this dump. Once again, you take from the highs here to the lows. We can see what happened here once with the 0.31. Of course, Bitcoin rejected from the 0.31, and algorithms are taking profits on their short at the minus 0.236. So this is something, if you guys are paying attention, you should probably you have caught this. Just you need to understand the power of these fibs. But in general, I don't like Fibonacci. A lot of people come to me and start talking about the golden zone, the 0.5 fib, and etc, etc. I don't look at that because I have back tested most of the fibs, especially on Bitcoin price data, and in my opinion they don't work in the long term. So that's what we're looking at right now. Bitcoin is sitting at a crucial level here. As I said yesterday, we have some nice demand zone here that we can see we tested, then we broke below. Right now we swept up all the stop losses here on the left side here that were under these wicks, which does look bullish to me. So I wouldn't be surprised if we get some kind of bounce here. Also, what I'm looking at, I had both this fib tool here from the second wave and then also from the first wave here. So I'm looking at both these fibs. We can see right now we're been stalling at the 0.31. So I do like to wait for the daily or the 4 hour close. So if we get a daily close above the 0.31 here, I do think we can see some kind of bounce here. It's normal to see a wick below. If we get a daily close below the 0.31, then probably Bitcoin is gonna try to head lower before then we can continue to the upside. But overall, the market is bullish here. But something I'm trying to tell you guys time and time again, we are in a side choppy market here. So in my latest videos, I got a lot of comments basically saying I'm too bearish because I called for only around 100k target this bull market. So we can see here, people start getting overly excited when we broke this high here. And what does market like to do? Market likes to wreck people, which is what the markets are known for, and that's what the job of the market is basically. So we came up here, made everyone bullish. Now we're pulling back here, waiting for people to flip bearish again before then most likely we're going to continue higher. So very interesting price action. Remember guys, we have to trade this market with caution. Don't be overly bullish just because we see green candles. Need to pay attention to a lot of things like the stock market. So we can see right now we have been waiting for the stock market here on the weekly to reach the minus 0.236. We can see we've gotten very close to it. Perhaps algorithms are already starting to sell. In my opinion, this doesn't count as a touch even though we're very close to it. So stock market has been selling off, and that has also caused Bitcoin to sell off as well. We see the dollar going higher as well, and this usually puts pressure on crypto. So let's jump into the Ethereum chart. Ethereum chart on the 4-hour looks very similar to Bitcoin. We can see from the second wave. So we had this label as some kind of 1, 2, 3, 4, perhaps a fifth wave. We can see the fourth wave. We like to find it between at the 0.31. Once again, you could have gotten a very nice scalp here in if you entered at the 0.31. We see Ethereum got a nice bounce, but then eventually we broke down here. Just as I mentioned in yesterday's video on Ethereum, that we cannot forever bounce from the 0.31. We can see previously these highs. If we drag the fib tool from this high down here, we can see again here we caught this nice long to the upside from the 0.31, and I said right now we can redraw it from this high, but I don't have a lot of confidence from the 0.31 because the market cannot just keep bouncing from every 0.31 we get. At some point market likes to correct further than the 0.31 fib, wreck everybody before we continue higher. That's why it's important that you need to understand how to trade these fibs. As I talk to you over and over, I have educational videos in my Discord if you're interested to learn more about both pitchforks and the Fibonacci, because some people are going to be, look, the 0.31 failed here, we broke below it. Of course, at some point price is going to break below it. As I said, market cannot trend like this. In that case, would not have a market. The market would just continue higher forever. So that's why you need to look at previous price data, like here, how it acted as perfect support. And right here we can see we got still a nice bounce, and right now Ethereum is breaking down. Right now it's too early to tell on Ethereum. As I said, I still believe Ethereum's next target is this major pitchfork here on the daily time frame at around 3,280 or 3,300, but right now we're still under the 0.5 line here, both on the log and even if you come on the normal scale. We can see Ethereum has still under resistance here, so we need we're probably gonna see some chop here, but we need to get above the 0.5 line here before we can start flying straight to the upside, since we have very little resistance here on the left side. A pattern that's one of my favorite patterns to trade, I will show you right now. This is the pattern that's given me the most profits over the years. Usually you need to find a high and a low and then a recent high on the daily time frame, and I like to use the shift one here. So this is a target I'm looking at Ethereum. Doesn't mean we have to get it, since we see Bitcoin is right now sitting at support. We can see, as I showed earlier, from this low here to this high here. So right now Bitcoin is at support, but in case we would fail the support and would trend lower, I'd really love to long Ethereum here at 2,400. So something like this to see on Ethereum. I would love to see. So I would like to see Ethereum come a little bit lower. So we have to pay attention to how Bitcoin is going to close here. In case Bitcoin is going to bounce here, most likely Ethereum is going to follow, but I would actually hope for a little bit lower here on the market to get an entry. As I said, this is one of my favorite patterns to trade. Basically, you want to open longs here on the median line when you have this kind of A, B, C pattern before the market usually starts to take off, and then you want to aim for a bigger time frame median line. So that's what I'm looking for Ethereum right now, how to play it. On Bitcoin, if you like, you could open a long here with a tight stop loss under the fib in case we get a daily close, or you wait for the daily close. If we get a daily close above the 0.31, that's what I would look to long the market. Something else I want to talk about here is what I've been talking about. Usually when the majority is bullish on the market, or the majority is expecting something, usually the market likes to do the opposite. So right now I've seen a lot of bullish sentiment lately, which has kind of made me a bit skeptical here. I do think Bitcoin needs more time before we go to the all-time highs. As you can see here, CoinGecko put out yesterday what is October gonna be. We can see majority of people have been expecting a bullish price movement, and we can see right now Bitcoin is correcting. Of course, it's only a small correction, but also judging by the comments I've been getting on my YouTube videos when I'm talking about like a 100k target and so on, people are very, very negative if you don't talk about 150 or 200 or 300k target this bull market for Bitcoin. So this tells me that the market is overly bullish. So I do think Bitcoin needs, unfortunately, some more time here to go sideways, liquidate late buyers before we can finally take off to the upside. Otherwise, guys, I thank so much for watching. I'll update you again, guys, tomorrow when we get further price action and how we're gonna trade it. Otherwise, please consider liking the video, and I'll see you again, guys, tomorrow.